Have you ever been into a panel discussion? If yes, you might already know ideas about it, and that's great. To expand your knowledge about panel discussion, it is defined as a small group which consists of 4 to 5 persons who are well informed about the topic, and they sit on a table, on a stage, or a platform before the group. Now you are looking at an example picture of panel discussion. Examine it very carefully since a panel discussion consists of different roles with their different perspectives. Let's tackle it one by one. The first member is the moderator. The moderator is the leader who tries to make the flow of the proceedings and actions functions as smoothly as possible, addresses the audiences and announce topic and introduces the panel members. They also interpret statements made by the audience and resolves possible conflicts among or between the panel members and the audiences. Moving on, panel members or the discussants or guests answer the questions raised by the moderator. And lastly, of course, the audiences. The audiences are the viewers and listeners and may also raise questions to the panel members which they are going or which they have to answer. So, moving on in panel discussion, there are procedures that should be followed or to be executed to run the discussion smoothly. So, first is the moderator should introduce the panel members and the panelists present their views and opinions regarding the issue that has been asked by the moderator. Second, the panelists discuss the issue or topic and react to other panel members' views and opinions, and there should be a specific amount of time that should be set. Third, the leader or moderator closes the discussion and provides a summary of panel presentation and discussion of what have been shared. And the leader of moderator calls for a forum to all the members of the class to address some questions, views, and opinions to the panelists.
So now I'm going to discuss on how to handle or how to host a panel discussion. So first one is you have to choose an interesting topic. Choose a topic that creates a buzz in the industry which panelists can easily contribute their knowledge, and we all know that having an interesting topic can keep everyone interested and be more active. The second one is prepare a list of questions ahead of time. We all know that panel members would want to feel confident discussing about a particular topic. List down all questions in advance and discuss them with panelists, and make sure that send them before the set date. It will help them answer questions naturally or prepare by listing down their points before the conference. The third one is choose the right panelist. Get more information about the panel topic and determine the speakers who are knowledgeable about it and can offer unique perspective. It will be interesting to invite speakers with different experience to create an engaging and meaningful discussion. The fourth one is a strong moderator should lead. A good moderator has the right skills to turn a session into an engaging and fruitful conversation. A strong moderator can engage everyone to be interested in the discussion. So, how can a strong moderator keep the audience interested? The first one, be a great Q&A facilitator for a smooth flow of conversation and ideas. Second, maintain balance in the panelist discussion to avoid someone from dominating. Third is highlight highlight key takeaways for the audience to connect well with the conversation. The fifth one is keep your questions short and relevant. The audience is interested in a new insight and doesn't care about a lot of personal opinions. As a moderator, exercise power to offer valuable insights wherein the audience can understand a topic accurately and deeply. Keep in mind that if it is necessary to ask concise and powerful questions relevant to the audience, because if the topic is not relevant to the audience, they might get bored or they lose interest. The sixth one is prepare your cut-off phrases ahead of time. Get ready to cut off long-winded answer that might confuse everyone in that discussion. If you can't stop that person, everyone might confuse. You can't stop them or that person with respect. For example, the topic is all about human development. That person doesn't offer a concrete answer to an overall topic. You could interrupt and say, that's an interesting point. However, would like to know more about a human development. In that, you can cut off that person with respect. The last one is have microphones in the audience for the question and answer session. In order to make the discussion fun and interested, we should also allow the audience to ask the questions, allowing them to become part of the discussion. It will keep them from getting bored. But do not open the floor right away for questions. State the ground rules for handling audience questions. As a facilitator, you may mention the following. The first one is make it clear that the group's aim is a meaningful exchange of ideas and not debate or argue. The second is remind everyone to speak with respect by paying attention, truly listening, and not making assumption right away.
A panel discussion is one of the most popular approaches to discussing trending topics in front of many audiences because it fosters productive learning relationship among panelists and participants. In addition, it allows everyone to reflect and think critically when listening to different perspectives. So, what do we mean by that? A panel discussion is popular because it is effective in disseminating ideas to its members and participants' audiences and also effective in addressing the problem of what is being discussed. So, panel discussion is popular because it is the one of the most used and effective ways that we always see in television, in school for education, and in community leaders in campaigning in addressing a certain topic. Because it is here when the group or panel discussion and the community will have to jive their ideas to solve one problem one at a time. So in here, when the opinion of the community and the panel discussion or the audiences will be addressed by the panelists, and it is also in here where we can learn different perspective of other people and what is their point of view in that problem. So the work of the panel discussion is to address and solve the problem. So in panel discussion, it has structures that must be followed. So one is the task. In the task, it is the task where the members of the panel discussion will do their assigned task. So second is the flow. It is where they follow the flow of the plan of the discussion. And the timing. It is here when the other group or the other member of the panel discussion will wait for the other member to talk and ask questions. And not also from the group but also to answer the questions from the audiences. It is here when the ideas and thoughts of the group and the community will be addressed for a common good of.
So first on the list of the advantages of the panel discussion is they could make less panelist preparation. Numerous corporate leaders, subject matter experts, and practitioners are hesitant to prepare for a presentation or breakout session. Second, the panelists may share new or fresh information. So since there is a less of an expectation that people place on them enough to provide a formal presentation, participants on a panel are in a better position to provide audience members with fresh or up-to-date information that may not be widely known or easily available to them. Third is shared accountability. So in this part, this can be an advantage or disadvantage depending on the person who is at the front of the session. Definitely, this person is the one most responsible for the outcome of the discussion. When there is just one presenter, the whole burden of the accountability is placed on that one participant or the presenter. If the person who is speaking is indeed very good, then that is an advantage to the whole team. But if that person is terrible at discussing, then that's not such a good thing. Fourth advantage, being able to see things from variety of perspectives. During the course of the discussion itself, a panel discussion is not about monologues, but rather about sharing different points of view. Fifth, perceptions of the real world. It is one thing to talk an audience about a particular topic. However, the fundamental goal of a panel discussion is for the panelists to share their knowledge. It is entirely another thing to bring together real-world practitioners and have them discuss their experiences and views on the issue in order to deliver actual value and takeaways to the audience. There are certain advantages to having a panel discussion on the team, but there are also some disadvantages associated with doing so. First on the list is the overuse of the format. It is possible that holding sporadic panel discussions during your conference or convention might be a useful way to liven up the day. But on the other hand, leaning too much on this kind of format could make the event appear tedious and uninteresting to the people who are participating in that particular event. Second is the uncertainty during this particular debate. In despite of the reality that the panel organizer and or moderator have thoroughly prepared and scripted the panel, the discussion nonetheless stays spontaneous. Sometimes, panel organizers or moderators imagine questions that they are likely to be asked and prepare answers to such questions in advance. Sometimes, in order for them to be ready for the discussion, they will also research the positions of other panelists. Third disadvantage is the panel discussion needs more coordination. In this, it is not simply one speaker that the meeting organizer or moderator is responsible for guiding the team. Rather, it says that there are at least 3 and up to 5 additional participants. And because of this, there will be a greater need for coordination all during the period of the preparation phase as well as just before the panel discussion. Fourth disadvantage is the poor discussion group moderator. As I have said earlier, it may be or can be an advantage or disadvantage depending on the group moderator. Even if the panelists aren't very remarkable, a competent moderator may salvage the whole discussion. Lastly, disadvantage is the intimidating personalities. Even while it is essential to have a variety of viewpoints, there are certain professionals or specialists who may not only have powerful perspectives but also have personalities that cause them to take the lead in the discussion.
So, the difference of panel discussion from other speeches is that panel discussion has an moderate, the actors, the moderate, the instructor, and the panelists, and also audience. Unlike the other speeches, it only has the speaker and the audience. So, example is the impromptu speech. In impromptu speech, we only have a speaker, the one who's speaking or the one who is presenting the speech, and the audience, the one who is listening from this speech. So, and and a panel discussion consists of small team or group of experts discussing a specific topic in front of audience. So, if we think about it, it is quite similar to debate. But in debate, one side must win and prove the other side wrong. While in the panel discussion, everyone who participate can freely give insight or ideas without having a loser or a winner, or without proving wrong or without proving right, because it's like you are just discussing a specific topic.
Here are some tips for more effective panel discussion. Panel discussions are becoming more and more available online. Thus, this requires different ICT tools and a different skill set for each. It is important to familiarize with ourselves with what ICT tools there is that is most effective to use, which applications can be more effective, and what necessities do we have to prepare. So say for example, it is good to have online panel discussions through Zoom if we are going to conduct it on a global scale. And of course, it is also a good thing to have a good quality camera and microphone to ensure that we are not lagging or that we are audible to the audiences. Number 2, as we are talking about ICT tools, it is also good to record the panel discussion. Recording the panel discussion can reach a wider array of audiences as we can upload them to different video streaming sites after the discussion. And recording could serve as a reference or a review for future discussions. Number 3, cost cutting with the use of ICT. Conducting panel discussions online can help us reduce costs on catering, coffee breaks, and logistics. And we can also use free video streaming sites in the conduct of this, such as Facebook. Next tip, minimize the number of presentation slides as a panelist. Having too much information can overload the audience, and having a lot of presentation slides can cause this, and it can also serve a distraction. Well, it is good to use a small amount of slides to present ideas, abstract concepts, or charts, or any other concepts that may require visual representation that will aid the discussion. Having multiple slides may hinder the flow of discourse and conversation and may prevent dialogue. Lastly, keep it short. So, this involves everyone in the panel discussion. A panel discussion is a chance to articulate, but not a very good venue for an in-depth and lengthy presentations. It is not an interview, it is not a forum, and it is not a meeting. It is very important to get to the point and give others the chance to have a good conversation. A way to keep it short is that as a panelist, you can meet with your fellow panelists before the discussion. Doing so will give you an idea of how lengthy or how short or how concise they could answer a question. And for the audiences, you can ask questions that are specific and not vague in nature. So to summarize the tips, panel discussion is a way to have a good discussion about a certain topic between the specialists and the audience. It is a good way to learn. However, we also have a part to play, and that is to be prepared, be honest, concise, articulate, and of course, be involved.